Hi, welcome to Product Review by Robojax. My name is Ahmad Shamshiri, presenting this tutorial from Canada. In this tutorial we are going to learn how we can use this SHT2000 temperature and humidity control, where we can use it as a heater control to keep the temperature above certain value, or we can use it as a cooler control where we can use it as a refrigerator or cooling device that keeps it below certain value. Then we are going to use it as a dehumidifier. We will set it such that the humidity is always below certain value, and then we are going to use it as humidifier control where we can keep the humidity above certain value. This is a DC version. I have separate video for the AC version. The link for the AC version is below this video. Let's get started with this. Because you can control humidity and temperature with this, this will be one of the best application for incubator or creating chicken farm. This is the SH2000 heater and humidity control digital device with external sensor. This is humidity and temperature sensor, and this is operating between 12 to 72 volts DC. And there is an AC version of it. I will have separate video. The link for that will be below this video in the description. So you will connect external power supply here, and then the 4 wires for this sensor will be connected at this point, and then you can control a humidifier or dehumidifier, 2 wires here for the switch, and then a heater or cooler. So this device can be used as heater control or cooler control, meaning you can connect it. You can control a refrigerator to keep the temperature always below certain value, and you can set that, or you can set it as heat and control, so you will always have a certain heat or higher. So this way you can control the heat. And also for humidity, you can use it as a humidifier controller or dehumidifier, meaning there are certain situations that you want always humidity to be above certain value. In that case, it will be a humidifier control, and if you want the humidity to be below certain value, then this will be a dehumidifier. And of course, you can set the range in between, which I'm going to show you the example practically for those cases. And this can be installed in some box and adjust the location. And this has this cover for this. So we have a cover that covers all the terminals, and the wires will be hanging from here. Width of this module is 69.6 millimeters. With these 2 attachments, it is 74.7 millimeters. The length is 85.1 millimeters. The depth is 27.2 millimeters. With this attachment, 31.1 millimeters. And if you're concerned with weight, it weighs 97.1 grams. The length of this wire for the sensor is 90 centimeters or 900 millimeters. Let me open it and show you what is inside. So I'm pulling this up, so this can go down. Pulling this up. So this can go down. Now from here, I can pull this piece, and on this side, and as simple as that, the panel is removed and the whole thing is out. I have other video explaining the AC version of this. The difference is that we have on the AC, there is an AC converter switching power supply, but this one is just DC, and then just we have diodes in case you connect the polarity incorrectly. I believe this is just protecting it. And then we have a regulator here switching power supply, so up to 72 volts comes here. It converts it to whatever is the voltage. As you can see, this is 9 volts. These 2 relays are 9 volts, so this will convert it to 9 volts. And there is also a regulator, which I will not go to have a look at them. And then we have 2 display with microcontroller here, and these buttons, nicely built, very solid. These solders are good, and also they put extra solder here for the path so it can handle more current. And let me just put it back, and that's it. Now let me show you the wiring for this. This has been labeled here, but there is no polarity. This pin in here, this is the positive, and you can connect from 12 to 72 volts at this point. So this is a positive, this is a ground or negative. And then these 4 pins are for the temperature sensor. They have been marked here, and I'm going to show you that the blue will be the first one, and then yellow, and then green, and then red for this temperature sensor. So you must connect it in this order for the temperature and humidity sensor to work properly. And then here we have these 2 are for humidity control, pin 7 and 8. The power that you connect here is DC, but you can control an AC load here or a DC load if you want to take action based on the temperature and humidity values. And here for demonstration, I'm going to use this AC bulb as my load. We can control it either with temperature or humidity. And this is a plug where I can plug it into AC outlet to turn this on. But at the middle, I've disconnected this live wire, and these 2 will be connected to the relay on the module. Job of the relay is to switch or connect it to turn it on, and switch it off or disconnect it like that. So I'm connecting these 2 terminals. So I'm going to connect the 2 terminals if I want to use for humidity in these 2 terminals, and if I want to use it for temperature or heat control at these 2 terminals. And here the 2 wires that I just shown you, I've connected here at these 2 last terminals where I can control it with heat or temperature. And when you see LLL, it means that the sensor, one or many wires of the sensor is not connected. Now let me demonstrate it. First, this is my power supply. Let me show you the voltage of my power supply. And as you can see, it is 12 volts. I'm going to connect it to the device. The positive will be connected on this side. There is no label for that. I put reddish or yellowish color and then the darker for the ground. Once you connect it, you will see that the screen is turned on. The top or red value is for heat or temperature. The lower is for humidity. HUM is written here, the blue color. The unit for the temperature is degrees Celsius, and the unit for humidity is in relative humidity in percent. Now the current value, this is the room temperature, and this is the humidity in the room that currently that I am. Now let me explain when we set this as a heater control, meaning that you want to keep the room temperature hotter or warmer in a certain temperature. For example, this is just an example. If you want to keep the room temperature between 50 and 65 degrees Celsius, you will set the start at 50 and stop at 60. And I'm doing this example because it's very easy for me to turn it on and off at these values with my heat gun. So we will set start at lower value and stop at higher value. Once the temperature goes down and the room gets cooler at 50, again the heater will turn on, and heater will continuously work, and temperature increases. When it reaches at 65, it will turn off. It will stay off until it reaches back at 50, which will start. Let me set it for you. The power is up, and this is the start temperature. We will just press this, and we will set it at 50. So it is 50. If not, just press and hold it. When it blinks, you can go up and down with this and set it at 50. Just wait, exit. Now let's set the stop one. This is a stop, and hold it, and let's set it at 60 for this example. Now the room temperature is 24. If I want to check it, just press this. It shows the start 50 and the stop 60. Now this is the bulb and this is the sensor. I'm applying now heat. As you can see, the heat already damaged this because I applied maybe about 100 degrees or more. I'll put this around this so it's holding it for me so you can see it on camera. The light is on once I plug this in. This should turn on, and now I'm plugging it in. So this is on, and as I mentioned, this is your heater and the temperature will increase. Now I'm applying this heat to increase it. When it reaches at 65, at 60 it will turn off. Let me turn that off so you can see it better. At 60, the heater now turned off, and now the room temperature will, because it's turned off, the temperature will slowly decrease. Now this is very hot, so this will slowly decrease until it reaches 50. When this temperature reaches back 50, now then the heater must turn on to keep it always above 50 and below 60. These are the values that we just set here: above 50, which is a start, and below 60. Now we are at 53. And it will turn on. This is now your heater, and the cycle will continue when it reaches. Now when this is on, again the temperature will increase. When it reaches to 60, it will turn off. Now let's see how we can use this as a cooler, meaning we want to keep the temperature always below 65. It says that when the temperature, the heat reaches at 65, now the start is at this point. For the heater, the start was on this side. Now for the cooler, the start is on this side, meaning when the temperature reaches at 65, the cooler will turn on and the temperature will decrease slowly. It takes some time depending on how fast it does. When it reaches at 50, which we set, it will stop. And then it doesn't do anything and the temperature increases, and then again when it reaches 65 it will start working and the temperature will be decreased. This is a start and this is a stop. Let's press this and hold it. It was 50, now we are setting it to 65. So wait until it disappears goes back to normal, and this time press the stop button on this side and hold it again so blinks, and now reduce it to 50. And wait for this. So now I'm applying heat, and as you can see, because the temperature is now below 65, the cooler is off. And now at the moment the sensor is 38 degrees. The room temperature is very cool now. The room temperature is 18.5 degrees Celsius because the sensor has big housing and everything has been heated up. That's why it shows 37. The cooler is now off because the temperature is below the required value of 65. When it is below, it will not work. It will turn on only when it reaches 65. Now let me apply heat. So at 65 this should turn on. So now the cooler is turned on and it is bringing the temperature down slowly. When the temperature reaches back to 50, it will stop the cooler. And this is a sensor. Let me hold it with my hand, and the temperature will go down very quickly. So now the cooler is off. For humidity control, you will connect your device that is controlling humidifier or dehumidifier to these two terminals on this side. Actually pin 7 and 8, which I have connected. And now let's see how we can use it as a dehumidifier. For dehumidifier, we will set value for relative humidity, and we will set, for example, I'm setting for dehumidifier that I want the humidity to be always below 80. Now what it means is I have a dehumidifier that reduces the humidity, and when it is reaching at 80%, I want to dry the room and it will be dried. When it reaches 50, we say that's okay, we just stop it, because below that is already pleasant, because we are worried that if it is above this, so we are worried, so we want to keep it dehumid or dry. Now to set it the same way, as I mentioned, we will set the start at 80 and stop at 50. Now this is a start and that's a stop. At the moment it's this value 59.4 and this is 50. Let's set this to 80. I'm holding it. When it blinks, and press and hold it so it goes faster. Now 80%, that's a start, just wait. Screen returns back. At the moment the humidity is 17.9% in this room, and this is a stop, so let's hold it. If you want to change it, because it's 50, I'm just accepting this, and it is now set. Open the sensor so you can see it. At the moment it is below the value, below 50, so my dehumidifier is not turned on. If I blow my breath here, because it's moist, the humidity will increase. You see, it goes very quick. I don't know if I can make it to 80%. Let's change it. I cannot make it even 60, so let's set it to 60. That is the start, this point. Let's hold it, and it brings it, make it 50. Wait, so start is set. Let's set the stop at 35. Press this and hold it again, and let's reduce it to 35 because we cannot get that type of humidity in this room. Now it is set at 35. Just wait, it goes to normal. We can check it. Start is 50, stop is at 35. Now if I make this humid, when it reaches at 50, the dehumidifier will start kicking in and will reduce the humidity back. When it reaches at 35, the dehumidifier, which is this bulb, will turn off. Now I'm going to blow here At 50, the humidifier kicked in because it's very humid. When the humidity decreases at 35, it will stop. So this was for dehumidification. Now let's see how we can use it as a humidifier to control the humidity and keep it always above certain value with always humid, because some people are in need of humid room. In that case, we will put the start in this case and this side. If you remember, for dehumidifier, start was there. For humidifier, the start is low, so we will start, let's say 35, because anytime when it is below 35, it will start and will make the room humid until it reaches, for example, 50. Of course, you can set any other value. When it reaches at 50, we say enough. So keep it always above 35. So this is our important point. Now let's set it. So the start is 35. Press this and hold it again. Blinks. Go down and hold it. $35. Wait. It is set. Now go for the stop. Press and hold twice. And now, and let's increase it to 50. Already started. Now, because the humidity is below 35, the light is on. As you can see, this bulb is on, so which means humidifier is turned on to make the room humid. This is our sensor, and humidifier is now working. So I'm blowing here my breath, so because it's humid, it goes up. When it reaches 50, this will turn off. So at 50, it turned off. Now the humidity will decrease again. When it reaches 35, the humidifier will turn on again. Now let me show you what is the maximum and minimum temperature that you can set. If I hold this and it blinks, let's go up. Now 120, that's the maximum, and let's go down. -40, so it goes from -40 to 120. The relative humidity should be from 0 to 100%, but let's just test it. So 100, and let's go down. So that was 0 to 100. Thank you for watching. This was how to use this SHT2000 humidity and temperature control. If you learned something and found this useful, please thumb up, as this will help my video in the search algorithm of YouTube. If you have comment or question, post it in the comment section below. I try to answer and reply. If you want to get updates of my upcoming videos, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. This was how to use this SHT. Thank you for watching. This was how to use. Thank you for watching. This was how to use this SHT2000 humidity and temperature control. If you learned something and found this useful, please thumb up, as this will help my video in the search algorithm of YouTube.